Hello, happy bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh, yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get your Kenn Bosak.
And we're live, bros.
Oh,
What's up, everybody?
How
Yo,
goes
what's going
it?
on?
All right, if you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, D Live, Twitch, Kick, all the other, if you're watching it somewhere, just share it out. But then you can like stop and go to X and just like watch us on X. The name of the show is hashtag not another Bitcoin podcast. The name of the show is the hashtag. The hashtag is the link. The name, the link, the hashtag, it's all one thing right there in the title. Thanks for joining us here on X. As always, I'm with my co-host, Miggy Crypto Live. How goes it, bro?
what's up, man? Always a pleasure hanging out with you and our awesome guests.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's doing good out there.
Not every guest we've had the opportunity to meet IRL in the same way we've gotten to meet Galleria, which was at NFT NYC. A lot of the guests that we've had known for a long time. people that we've known in the space or done other things, and like this is a new bro. I really like what Galleria is doing. I'm a big fan of not just the project, but of this gentleman right down there. So if you don't
Thank
mind,
you.
introduce yourself to the audience. Start with a little bit about who you were and are before you got into crypto, how you kind of got into this space, and what led you to Galleria.
Yeah, all right, cool, cool. Yeah, so my name is JC, and I'm the founder of Galleria. And yeah, I'm so passionate about it and I'm so excited and yeah, so I guess let me go back a little bit. So how did this start and who was I before Galleria? That's a good question. That's a good opener. I've got to say that. That's got me thinking, who really even am I? Uh I'm just playing. Um I'm an engineer by training. And so ever since I started learning how to code, how to build something, um, it sparked something in me where each time I built a project, I've built so many projects. Each time I got a little better, and not only is it the beauty of like building something, but also people using it. So for example, the very first thing that I built that had one taste of entrepreneurship was when I built a textbook trading web app for when I was in college and stuff. And so the first person that used it, bought an astronomy book or something that I was
Oh
using,
shit.
um, gave me $15. Those were the best $15 I've
Yes.
ever gotten in my life. I remember them to this day because it gave me such a sense of adrenaline. Someone used something I built, you know? Um, so ever since then, I've just been more a builder, and I say that in the context of I just love building basically. And seeing people use it is it's like a child really. So I've gotten the bug, you could say, for just building things and seeing people use it and yeah, so how it started, way back in the day too. I was into photography, and when NFTs started popping and stuff, I realized, there was a lot of, the Bored Apes and digital monkeys and stuff like that. But I admire photography, that's what I was into before, and I was like, well, I mean, if this trend keeps going on, where's the room for photography?
Yep.
It seems only logical to me if I pretend that we're 40 years out and we take a big look back that there's a spot for that too. Um, and so naturally being an admirer of photography and traditional art, and being a builder, I just built a NFT marketplace for art and photography. And so that's how that happened, more so out of, I just love being a builder, you know. And then how it evolved is I like to say I like talking to people, and through talking to just both sides of the coin, the people that are deep into NFTs and the people that are not into NFTs, that don't like them at all, don't like the word NFTs, just like listening and stuff, you know. And I feel like the biggest question that there was is what is the real world use case of NFTs? And so I started like just doing my research and how, the big question that seemed like the obvious question, but the hard question is how do we bridge the physical and the digital? So it was a question that I went to bed thinking about. I woke up thinking about. Sometimes when you're programming, the best thing that you come up with is when you're taking a shower, you just woke up or something like that, Um,
Yeah, do you
just
shower
thinking
with
about
like
it
a
nonstop.
whiteboard marker? Yeah, that's how I picture some
Yep.
developers. They have like a whiteboard scrum. They have like a scrum whiteboard in the shower with a marker.
I got my different colors so I can annotate.
Yes, yes, that's what I want to
Uh,
hear.
exactly. And yeah, and so now, what do we do today? We work with museums and galleries, photography and art galleries, and we work on this chip. You guys have seen this chip, but I'll give the introduction. This chip right here, this chip right there.
Show
Um,
them how thin it is.
and
Hold that thing sideways real quick. Look at this, guys. Yeah, it almost disappears.
yeah. And so this chip basically is verifiable on chain. So what that means is that when you go scan this with the portal which anyone can build. It's decentralized. You can check if it's authentic or not. So it almost turns into like a public good. So we've been working with museums and art galleries, um, to, they have people that come to them for curation, and they have their own works too, depending on if it's the museum that curates or an art gallery that either both curates or it's their own work. And so it, it provides authentication, and they really admire that, because I've had various gallery owners, for example, that see that I had one that was just on vacation in somewhere in another country and saw her work in a huge billboard. Um,
Hmm.
and it was her work. And so it builds, that sense of this is the real one. And where we're going with this in the future is, let's say when when an artist in an art gallery sells a piece with this chip, the owner of the physical piece and the creator will get royalties if it's used in
Nice.
the in IP
That's
business
awesome.
sense, ads kind of thing. Of course, there's some legal concepts to go through when we're talking about those kinds of things, but it's, the
Yeah.
vision that we have to be able to,
Well, it's a starting conversation, right? I mean, does Banksy get any royalties from like the art that is sold? Like when Banksy does a painting on the building of your house and you like break that wall off your house and sell it, if you sell it at Christie's, does Christie give Banksy a cut? I'm so
I
curious because maybe
that's a
Banksy could put some of these chips into a wall and paint
Right.
over the chips. That way, when people
It's
do
part
do
of the
the
picture.
yes, he can get a fucking
Right.
royalty for once. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure, for
And
sure.
you said you have to like destroy it, if you want to get that chip out, you basically have to kind of destroy the picture
And
painting
nobody
or
wants to
whatever it is. Like,
destroy a Banksy no matter what,
yeah.
right? So yeah, I think that would be a cool like guerrilla market use case. But I also want to give you a chance. Did you want to repeat everything you just said in Spanish?
Did I want to
En
repeat it all
español.
in Swedish, in
That's
español?
The
funny.
Galleria. But I'll give the floor to Miggy though. Miggy, ask a question in Spanish. Bro, answer it in Spanish and we'll let everybody
Oh
figure out.
man. All
You
right, let
want
me
me to,
see.
are you no sabo, or are you
I
shoot
do,
me,
but I get nervous when I get put on the spot.
This
shoot
is
me,
why I
shoot me.
do it.
Let me see. I have a question, but I just gotta figure out exactly how to say it.
Okay.
Um, Dang it.
What,
Uh,
where was your, I
okay,
don't
I
know
think
what
I
the
got
word
it. I think I
is.
got it. I mean, this will be as good as it gets. ¿Por qué la decisión para usar la base, Polygon y Ethereum para los cosas? I think that's
Uh,
as close as I can get.
so let me translate that for everyone before I answer it. So
Okay.
the question is, what was the reason to use Base, Polygon, and Ethereum as our chains? That's the question. Yeah. So now let me answer it, and then I guess I'll repeat it in English. Is
No,
that how I
you
should do
were
it?
just let them figure out how to translate it. I know they're Spanish listeners.
Oh,
They don't need help.
All right, so you just answer
okay.
in Spanish then, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll answer in
But yeah,
Spanish.
thanks. At least I got the question, mostly. It
I
wasn't
saw
correctly.
that you were a little nervous. No, it
Yeah,
was good. It
I
was
get
good.
nervous I put on spot, but go for it.
So la razón principal por qué estamos usando Base, Ethereum y Polygon es que en Ethereum la razón es porque es la blockchain principal que todos confían en Ethereum, y la razón por qué fuimos con Polygon y Base es en primer parte porque están construidas encima de Ethereum, que les da la seguridad que también tiene Ethereum, y también la razón principal es por el precio de los gas fees.
Mm,
Honestamente, en el futuro se necesita, no
yeah.
podemos tener esos gas fees que están
Yo,
gigantes.
that was the
Yep, yep,
best
yep. Simone.
question and answer in Spanish because I don't need to know the translation to know exactly what he said. That is
All right, okay,
awesome.
okay,
All right,
okay.
but
Yeah.
here's
That was
my
fun.
question, man. Like, do you think this is what's been holding back like NFC from being more user adopted in like small businesses or even large businesses? When I go to Walmart, Target, any of these big brands, like even Best Buy, the big tech store, they don't have any NFC incorporated in their shelves, business models, or any customer interactions, but I still see QR codes. I'll see a fucking QR code that says scan me for more information. why can't I just tap my stupid phone to the stupid QR code? I'm wondering, like, is this the technology that the NFC space has been looking for, or is it still, even with this, something that might not really catch on?
That's a great question. I think there's a couple angles of that. Well, the first one is I feel like cameras have been around for longer in smartphones than NFC technology, which is Apple Pay. So I think
Mm.
Apple Pay came out after um, cameras, of course. I don't know the tech of the camera and reading the QR code around when. I'm just trying to remember, like in my own life, which one did I start seeing first? But I guess that kind of also plays to the ones most popular. That's one, that's a good question. That's one that I would guess maybe. The other fact is that, well, in what use cases would you say for that kind of validating or just getting
Well,
information?
just getting information in general. Like, why am I still scanning a QR code when I could easily just tap my phone? Everybody has a phone with a camera. That phone with a camera has NFC. Not one phone in anybody's
Yeah,
pocket.
nowadays.
Yes. So the fact that I have to open the camera, scan this image, tap the link, go through all these steps when easily anybody could come across it and put a different QR code on top of that box. If I scan that QR code, now I'm being sent to a different website that could be installing a keylogger and logging every keystroke after I scan that QR code. There's no validation in that QR code, but I'm
Yeah.
giving up a lot of risk with no reward. With something like this NFC, potentially I could tap it, make sure it is verified before I let the link take me to that website.
I see what you're saying. Yes, I totally agree. And you know what? Maybe it's the that authenticity problem of one, it's probably cheaper to print ink and just one time versus like a component that you have to build into the
But
box
that can
maybe.
be
But if they
read-write,
built it,
right? No, not even in the box. If you put it on the shelf, it's read-writable. You can just rewrite it just like you do with the price tags that are there.
fair, fair. Yeah, it's interesting and you know, we got so many use cases that came up to us. We had, like I was chatting with you earlier, we had one, the art gallery owners, we had museums that came up to us, so the ones that we're used to, but we also had shoe companies that came up to us that were curious about how it worked. We had my favorite is the mango exporter because I love
Oh
mangoes.
wow.
Mangoes are so good. Um,
Mangoes.
mangoes are
I
so
like
good.
That's
mangoes the
awesome.
day before they're not good. Like the last day of like,
Oh,
okay, we got to eat
really?
this mango.
Hmm. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. I like them with some tahini, you know.
Sugar,
Ooh.
just sugar, pure sugar, bro.
What? I've got to try that. I've got to try that.
So good.
But what was I saying? Yeah, she was interested in how that worked because, you know, moving things from back and forth between continents, you know, there's a lot of insurance that's taken out to make sure that your things get there and being able to see like a transparent process through the process is important to them. Same thing with the museums. The museum that we're most recently working with. Um, when they're going on exhibition and they're taking pieces, either shipping them permanently from one museum to another that's on another continent or something, or they're going on exhibition and taking their pieces on tour. Same thing, they take out millions and millions of dollars of insurance and stuff like that. And so being able to see like a from end to end, the fact that it's still, okay, this that I'm seeing in front of me is the real thing. Similarly, we have a very famous artist from China, but he lives here in New York. Um, and every time that he has to ship a piece back because his collectors are back in China, he has to go to a museum, talk to one of the head people, take him out to dinner, that kind of thing, so that they can sign him a letter of authenticity. So there's interesting use cases and stuff that I'm excited
You know
about.
the guy who bought the Eiffel Tower. Even the second guy who bought the Eiffel Tower probably wishes something like this was around when they did it. You know, the Eiffel Tower was bought and sold illegally
Yep,
twice.
What?
yep,
Really?
Yeah, dude,
yep.
really. Look into it. It's funny as shit.
There's a very good YouTube on it. That's where I learned about it. YouTube video. I'll send it to you after this.
I
It
found
really was.
that through the Beanie Baby scandal, and other things similar to like how the Beanie Babies like became a phenomenon and basically how they oversaturated the market and rug pulled everybody. But like then that was the next video and I was like, yo, this dude bought the Eiffel Tower and then wait a minute, another dude was like, good idea, I'll buy one too. Like there's more than one.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Dude,
Man,
it's
it's
so
crazy.
funny.
It's
So
crazy.
I'm sure
But
that there's like I'm just saying like I'm sure there's practical use cases for this. I'm thinking, can this be done without blockchain and Web3? Is this something that Galleria could achieve without incorporating crypto in any aspect, or is the blockchain sort of like the crux of the verification, the point of it?
so it you can do it privately, like completely off the blockchain. And it's way easier. The reason for
Mm.
that is that you have one centralized source of authority that can validate like the signature from the chips. But so that's where, you know, maybe some people still want to do that. Maybe you want like a decentralized bundle of these because there's, for example, Boeing, there's contracts of contractors that are the
Secret,
transparency between,
secret.
yeah, the
I
transparency
can't
between
tell you
those.
who I'm buying my stuff from.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and so, yeah, that's where the key is, and it depends on the use case, really. I mean, for example, art, since it's public and you know, a museum might want other people to know like the oh man, I gotta drink some water. Um, a museum might want people, in fact, they do, to like the general public to be able to see outside of if the museum is there or not that it's the real thing. And so being able to verify that signature like on chain is a big part. Yeah, pretty much.
Good shit.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
And
was just
so
curious
it's
because I don't know if you could even do this on like a private blockchain, right? It would have to be a local centralized validator, like a closed system, probably using some form of like a multi-sig. So if I'm buying supplies from you, if you were to change anything about that Galleria chip, I would have to sign off and also like agree to validate that change or alteration. Otherwise, what would be the point, right? So I think with like a multi-sig situation offline,
Oh
like
yeah.
off chain, definitely would be cool. Because that's what I was wondering. Like, there's artists out there that would like to do this, but they would like to probably keep it as private as possible. Sort of like, an underground version of like a public verification. You know what I mean? Like, there's grunge, or like underground hip hop, musicians where if you can get like the mixtape, like that's like culty, bro. Like you have to get that from the dude. Like you can't just buy
from the
that.
director.
Yeah.
Right. But then for other people to know that you have the real one, I guess if that matters to you,
Well, then you go to
if it
that
doesn't
guy's
matter to you,
website, right? And you can be like, "Yo, check
fair,
the website, right? This is where you can audit my Galleria because his website is the authority."
fair. Yeah. Yeah. And so I guess that's kind of from our gallery approach, from our partners at art galleries, photography galleries, that's more so what people that buy their works, they want people to go back to their site and check and make sure, oh, this is, years down the line, yeah, this is the real one. Um, you know, and so, we're building these portals, I guess you could call them. We have one on our site. We build them. We're building one on their site basically as well, so that you can check from all multitude of places and stuff. And it's all fully decentralized. So that way, even if we, knock on wood, cease to knock on wood, if we cease to do our thing, it's still fun.
That was really, I
Knock on wood.
like that. Knock on wood in case we cease to knock on wood. Oh,
Oh
that's
In case we
man.
cease to knock on wood, yeah.
What
Knock
so
is
on wood.
that even? That's like some type of inception for the just what did you
It
just say?
hopefully just keeps building on itself. Maybe. I don't know. I don't
I
know.
really like what
Um,
you got,
That's
man. I
awesome.
think there's a lot of ways to evolve it. Go ahead, Miggy.
I just wanted to ask if you could talk a little bit about the pin tweet that you have doing that. Was it
yes.
the call for the artist for the magazine feature?
Thank you
That's
for bringing that up. I paused a second ago, like 10, 15 minutes ago when
yeah,
I
I
started
saw that.
because
And
I
I
was
was
like,
like, oh, that looks interesting. I was like,
should
that's
I
yeah,
bring that up
definitely talk
right
about that
now?
a little bit.
Yeah, so if anyone is listening right now, we're partnering with um I don't know if they're comfortable with me saying their name. So, but basically, it's a fine art museum located in the Rockefeller Center in New York. Oh man.
You're gonna quit vaping after this podcast, brother.
I just have something. I was like, oh. Anyways, we're going to be partnering with a fine art museum that's located in the Rockefeller Center in New York City. So excited. And so as a part of that, they're going to be featuring us on their magazine that they ship it to other museums. They ship it
Oh
to
shit!
high class art gallery owners. They ship it to, they were telling me embassies,
Is
all
this
sorts
limited
of
to
places.
photography or is this more like any art?
It depends on like we're trying to sync it up. It's ultimately up to them basically, and me and like me being our side of things because we're the ones that are running this side of the we want to showcase the community and them being cool with it, but they do all sorts of things and they were like you could we're open to everything. And
Okay.
so, and
Nice.
so, yeah, they're so cool. They're super cool. I love
That's awesome.
working with them. And so, yeah, long story short, we're trying to highlight art from the community, um, traditional photography, digital, all sorts. And so we're running what would you call it? If you go to our pinned tweet on our Twitter and you comment and you say your artwork that you would like featured, the museum is featuring Galleria on a full page, and so we want to highlight artists from the community,
That's so
basically.
cool.
And so we're running this right now. We're seeing what happens, and yeah, we're excited. So if you're an artist in the audience right now and you would like for a chance to get your work featured on a magazine that gets shipped all over the world, like I said, um, we could certainly get you a copy as well for whoever ends up getting selected. Um, Go to our pin tweet and comment your work, and yeah,
I
tell
just
us why you would want to be.
retweeted the tweet you
Nice.
tagged me in, so if you can't find the at the Galleria IO, you can go to my Twitter and you should be able to see them. I just retweeted it here. Of course, I hate this
Nice.
thing, but
I
yeah,
The
know,
the
yeah.
way it glitches in and
Galleria
out.
IO, the Galleria IO, bros.
That's
Um,
us. That's us.
that is
That's
That's
fucking
us.
funny.
badass, dude.
Yeah.
I definitely am gonna hit up a couple of these artists that I know that do some stuff. I only know one or two that do photography stuff, and I'll reach out to them as well. I think Constantine's still doing a lot of cool shit with his
Yeah.
photography.
Then it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be photography. We're getting traditional artists. We're getting charcoal artists. We're getting digital artists. We're getting AI artists.
Oh,
Um,
even AI shit. That's
That's cool.
fucking cool. That is cool,
we're
actually.
getting
Then
submissions for everything.
that's pretty meta
Oh
because
wow.
like to think about taking like AI art and having it like verifiable in the physical world to be able to say like this is the AI that made that
Oh
art.
yeah.
That's fucking dope. Cause like I see some AI art and I just want to know what AI made that art. Like clearly you're not the artist, the AI is. Who is the artist? Tell me the AI's name.
That's
Exactly.
hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
I never oh sorry,
We're
go ahead.
open and I was just saying we're getting submissions for everything, and I'm seeing some dope stuff. So yeah, submit.
So with the chip that you've been using, what has your experience been like? Have you tried, using the RFID or versus the NFC chip? Like, is that something that you tried both and kind of just went with one or the other? Like, can you talk about that a little bit?
Well, NFC is a type of radio frequency, so they're kind of RFID is an umbrella term, and NFC is in there basically.
Okay.
Um, and so it is radio signals, and it's the same technology that your phone uses when you use Apple Pay. That's why
Oh,
most
super cool.
phones. Okay, I have an iPhone. There's Android Pay, right? Is
Mhm.
that a
They
like
have, I
Google
mean, it's
Pay. I
similar,
think they
but
just
it's,
call it Google
yeah,
Pay to be
Google
honest.
yeah,
Pay? Google
something
Pay.
like that.
Right, right,
It's
right.
the same thing, just
Uh,
different name, I think.
yeah, same tech, same. So that's what makes it, accessible and verifiable is that, most people nowadays, most phones practically all phones that are sold nowadays have the the NFC technology built into them.
But
So,
they don't have
um,
the umbrella RFID built into them.
I guess it depends on the phone, and I'm not sure what other functionality other than transmit and receive
Well, it's
there
data size,
is.
right? Like you could potentially get like a whole music video from like one of those RFID
Mhm.
grains of rice, but like in NFC,
Uh,
you can barely get like a hyperlink. You know what I mean? Like that's about all that fits.
Fair, yeah,
yeah.
because of the space. Yeah, and if it's active or like if it's a phone that's powered by electricity or if it's more not like a tag and
Yeah,
stuff,
those. Dude, that's the other thing I learned about NFC. You probably knew this, but maybe you found out playing with it. Was like there's a battery in NFC, and it charges when your phone interacts with it. That's how it like gets its
Mm.
juice. So like an
Yeah.
NFC tag could become like dead because it doesn't have enough battery. But if you rub your phone against it like for a second, it gets enough juice to transmit that information. I thought that was the most gangster shit. Whoever the nerd is who developed that was like some kind of weird alchemist and was like, watch me do a soul transfer between these two technologies.
That's funny. It's electromagnetic waves, basically. That's how, which
Gangster.
sounds even cooler, I think.
Tesla
You
would
know,
be Tesla would be proud, bro.
literally, literally. Yeah, it's cool tech. It's cool tech.
So how do you think like it's gonna evolve? Because I mean, obviously, everything changes, gets better, adapts. I mean, like, what do you see is like RFID, NFC kind of evolving into, or can it? I mean, does it need like some kind of new technology that we don't have yet or know yet, or I don't know anything about
Um,
this stuff.
yeah, so I would say, um, I think what would be cool would be like eventually someday it gets to the price point where the whole canvas or something can just be the you just scan any part of it and it's the real thing.
Oh
Um,
wow,
that would
that'd be
be
crazy.
awesome. I think that would be cool, you know. It
Yup.
wouldn't be like something that we attach to like a corner of it.
Oh
It
yeah, it
depends
could
on the
also
use
be like
case,
the
like you
carbon
said.
fiber shell to a car. Like the whole car's carbon fiber shell could be made out of this material. That way you know you're really buying a real Lamborghini at the parking lot at Kmart. Because like I don't know if that's a real Lamborghini in the parking lot of
Yeah,
Kmart, but I have all these shit coins and I want to trade you all these shit coins for that Lambo.
yeah, and you know it's funny that you bring that up because we had a gentleman at NFT NYC that came up to us that was like my impression is he was a mechanic or something that knew about car parts a lot, and he was like sometimes we get like fakes all the time. Um, have you thought about putting this in car parts? And he was like excited off of car parts and having this validation onto it. So I guess it depends. It probably got to like the boxes first before I got that, like
Yeah.
boxes that are maybe like just sealed and you can tell that they haven't been tampered with and you can scan it and see where it came from, wherever. I don't know where car parts are made, wherever they're made, whether that's
Detroit, are
overseas.
they still made in Detroit?
I don't know.
No, dude, it's
No, I think they're made overseas somewhere.
famously the automotive industry rug pulled Detroit. So it's just haha, car parts in Detroit. Like, yeah, used to be. And when they all left, Detroit went to hell and never recovered. Fuck you, Ford.
Yep.
Oh, snap. I actually
That's why
didn't put the two.
Detroit is a nightmare right now. It's because the automotive industry came in, took everything over,
Mhm.
and then left like overnight. Said, peace, thanks for all the
Right.
fish.
I hadn't connected the dots right there.
They never
Interesting.
recovered, still to this
Yeah.
day. So a
Yeah, it was
lot,
like the largest, for car manufacturing, wasn't it?
yeah, it was a
Or at least
large,
some of the
and they
best.
just pieced out, like
Yeah.
pulled the fucking
Destroyed
Nixon.
everything.
Ah,
It's
fuck.
a problem. Yeah, most people are moving overseas, and I mean, from the business perspective, like they're trying to maximize profits and stuff, but also making other places pretty powerful.
I just had an
Um,
idea, or more so an idea wrapped in a question. How
okay.
how are these Galleria NFC chips with heat and heat transfer and stuff like this? Because if possible, you could send these to a 3D printer, and somebody's making 3D printed toys could have this chip built into the toy, like dead center in its mass, And now I can say, oh, this is an actual 3D printed toy from this 3D printing toy company instead of just some dude in his mom's basement with a Kinko's 3D printer. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of
Yeah.
that happening on Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, whatever the heck the name. Like, you can go look for these like Funko Pops. And people are able to print these in their mom's basement now and scam people into buying like limited edition Spider-Man Funko Pop. But if Funko could put this in it, at least the people, at Amazon or at eBay, they would have a verification system like they do for the sneakers. If you try to buy sneakers, they go through a verification system. I think anything 3D printed, incorporating what Galleria has invented, can actually design that feature where now I know I'm getting a real 3D printed thing from like a regular 3D printer, but like, I know he's not getting scammed or copied by another person.
I see. That'd be a big brain move. Yeah. With tech in general, I mean, if you burn anything, if you throw it into some lava, it won't survive.
But how hot can we get this chip? Because 3D printers do get pretty hot. That's why I'm like, this could probably even set it on fire if it ain't, encased in something. I don't know how hot they get, but I know it's hot enough to melt plastic.
I don't know how hot they get. Well, I mean, that's fair. That's the definition of
hot,
a 3D
right?
printer.
Yeah.
I'd have to ask how hot. I'd have to
Experiment with
how
it a
hot
little
they
bit,
take.
man. Yeah, because I mean, if you could experiment with this, the beta test toys that you do would probably have some value in the long run. You know what I mean? Like, nostalgically speaking.
Fair.
Because
Yeah,
well, I'm just saying, you know
Yeah.
what this makes me think of? Those little Omobi thingies you can get from like GameStop, and all the little kids put it on their DS and shit, and you're able to actually rip the NFC from it. So if you take like the Flipper Zero to GameStop, you can collect all the little Amiibo toys and you don't need to buy them. But if you had this, like, I think Amiibo might be very interested in what you got.
Yeah, the more I talk with people, there's so many use cases and stuff. We were invited to a gallery out in Dubai. I wasn't able to make it. Did you guys hear about the storm? It seemed pretty.
Yeah,
It seemed
I
I
saw
was
the post.
this close to being there, and the
Crazy.
day before I booked the flight to go, everybody was like, you don't go, it's not for you. And I'm like, yeah, probably not, no weed, right? So I was like, I'm not going to Dubai.
No
Yeah.
weed for you.
Oh, but they
Yeah.
meant because of the storm or
No,
or
because
of the
there's
weed?
the weed thing, and I'm pretty sure you can't
I
have a
see.
face tattoo in Dubai or be a man with your fingernails painted. I'm pretty sure I'm like illegal just the way I
Yeah,
look.
it's like more ways than one.
Oh, really?
It'd be like
I've never been.
what's that show? 1,000 Ways to Die or something? 1,000
A thousand ways to get arrested in Dubai.
or is it 1,000 Dumb Ways to Die? I don't remember, but I'm just kidding. Just like
Yeah.
just show up.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
that's a Seth MacFarlane thing, I think, right? Thousand Ways to Die in the Desert or Texas or something. Anyway,
I think
with
That's
with the Galleria NFC stuff though, like I'm curious, have you guys thought of like exploits, and if you found any, how did you kind of work around them, or are there any like potential game theory situations that you could discuss? I know you don't want to encourage anything, but things that are almost like relatively common sense coming from the space you're in. Are there any kind of like game theory vulnerabilities to NFC and sort of like what you're doing with the Galleria chip?
Well, I would say the biggest what would I say? The biggest challenge in digitals is, do you guys know much about like encryption and stuff like that?
I know that Bitcoin uses SHA-256.
Basically, how do you make it not duplicatable and replicatable so that someone can just NFCs radiate like a signal when you scan your phone up to them. How do you make it such that that signal changes every time and isn't replicatable? So someone can't just listen to it, copy it, and
Wow.
send it out and then fake it, basically.
That's an interesting challenge. I'm sure I mean,
That's
I could already see some game theory I could
That's
play
some
with
spy
that. That's
shit.
fun. Yeah, spy shit, CIA shit.
Uh,
Top level, yeah, for real.
Yeah, so I'm a builder, man. I like talking to people and stuff, but there's nothing like putting on my headphones and just going to town on some tech. I'm a huge geek like that.
Dude,
I
the only
love
thing
tech.
that I thought of, like, because I love breaking things people build. Like, you're as much a builder as you are. Like, you love building. I like demolishing. I'm a breaker. I want to
Nice.
break. I want
And
to
destroy your
break
god.
everything, bro. I want to come in, demolish the whole shit, and you have to rebuild it. So the next guy that comes in can't do it. Like that,
Yeah,
I
you're
want to solve problems by finding them and highlighting them. And the one thing that did cross my mind with Galleria was the potential of magnetism. That I could potentially just go through a store that's using these and wipe them with a strong enough magnet, kind of like a brute force attacking by zero, not like zero wipeage, right? So like, is that something that is possible with NFC, or is it, even if it is possible, are there ways that there could be like a node in the business that could redeploy the signals to these things? Or do you have to one by one revalidate? I'm just curious because I know magnets and NFCs don't get along. I get a credit card that from
Right.
my hotel, and the credit card from the hotel cannot touch my phone because if it touches my phone, I got to go get a new hotel key.
Right. Yeah.
I
I hate
hate
that.
it. So I'm just
So annoying.
wondering,
so
is that something that you have considered?
So that's the reason that that happens is that it's regular technology that's widely available. I'm not the RFID. I'd ask the team for like a proper answer, but my understanding is what is special is that it's written into the hardware, into the
Mm.
ones and zeros, into the actual hardware. And so whether you can try to rewrite them, you can do all these. It's in the hardware basically.
So it's in
And
the
so
it's in
that's
the binary. It's in the BIOS. It's stored in the BIOS essentially.
it's safe. It's in there. It's up in there, you could say.
Okay, so
Yeah.
It's all up in there,
so
baby.
it's not
All of it.
necessarily on a chip in the Galleria chip. The entire chip itself is that fingerprint.
It is in like the
So it's physically
it's
there, not digitally there, is what I'm saying.
yes. There's something in
Mm.
there. There's something in there. That's
So yeah,
the
he's like, I
So
can't
it seemed
fucking tell you everything, Ken.
so it seemed like you
yeah.
would need like to get to quantum computing, so that way the ones and zeros can be both ones and zeros, and they can
Oh shit.
interchange and shit, which is not too far away. I mean, they've been doing a lot of quantum computing shit and all kinds of stuff, and they're getting
How
That's
closer
far
what.
to it.
away would you say it is?
I
Because
mean,
people
for
say
me,
different
honestly,
things.
I feel we're less than a decade away.
Think so?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
because
say
as
10
far as they
years.
show as far as they shown us that they are, they're a lot farther than that. You know what I
Yo,
mean? They
here's
didn't really tell us how far they are into it.
yes.
They're really far into it.
Yo, do you remember the Tom Cruise deepfake videos from 7 years ago and the deepfake videos of the all the presidents from 5 years ago? Where have they been the past 3 years, bro? Where are all of this? Look at how cool deepfake got. It's hush, 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 hush.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting. And I yeah, I it's interesting. Quantum computing is going to be a a big thing, but just as fast as there's always going to be innovation.
Right.
Always. There's always people that are working on this and stuff. And so the encryption algorithms that are still yet to come out, whether they reinforce existing ones or are just completely built from scratch, I think that they are like neck and neck, and so I don't think that the malicious side is gonna like just the good guys are gonna quit and the bad guys are gonna keep going and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you actually because you were saying you're a destroyer. You like trying things out and just breaking them and stuff. You're an ideal first user. Um,
I get that a
that
lot.
makes me wonder. Oh, really?
Yeah.
That makes me wonder, have you found yourself more there's a spectrum nowadays. People that are really willing to try new things and people that are like scary end of the spectrum. And I think it's evolved with culture, but it's also the crypto economy of how
Oh,
like
bro, I'm
scary it
not
is.
scared, dude. I literally just found out about a Telegram bot that could launch a shitcoin, and I tried to provide a liquidity raise with a pre-sale 5 minutes after I knew it existed. I had to
I know,
cancel
Ken
it.
got-
I had to
Ken got
cancel
me
the
to do
pre-sale.
it.
I love
Ken
running
got me to
at
do
full
it on
speed.
live stream too. And mine
That's
went
hilarious.
through. Now it's actually fulfilling the LP, so I don't know what to do right now with it.
Mickey.
It's got market cap of $39,000. I don't understand. I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
Flowing through there. That's hilarious. So you're willing to try things. You're willing to try
I
things.
want to try
That's
everything. I want to break things. I want to do it wrong. I want to fail. I want to get laughed at. I want to be embarrassed. I just want to be first. I don't give a fuck about all the other shit that
That's
comes with it.
Nice.
That's rare nowadays, I've got to say.
Too many people are worried about their image and ego and perception from others, and I genuinely haven't given a fuck about any of that in at least 5 years. So, like, I don't care if people are like, oh, you scammed me with this fucking token on a Telegram tip bot, blah, blah. I don't fucking care. I was trying something cool. You decided to try something cool with me. If I jumped off a bridge and you did it and broke your leg and I came out completely fine, I don't want to hear you bitching.
Wait, so how you just clicked a button and it launched it or
Dude,
something? Or
you have
No,
to
so
see
it's a-
how fucking
It's a Telegram
easy.
bot, and it takes you step by step to create a token on Sol, and it
And
takes
then
you through
you
everything.
pre-sale it,
Putting
it provides-
you
yeah.
put liquidity, a little bit of liquidity in it. Does all the stuff, and it gives you the market cap. It gives you a soft cap, a hard cap. You get to pick everything. You get to pick the
Mickey
time
got
limit
his
for
own
full
token
launch.
with $40,000 market cap, homie, and he did it in
Yeah.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
and
Bro.
yeah, right now it says final token price for one Sol. You can get 1,562,603.26 Mickey.
I think that's how many
Market cap
Mickey I have,
39K.
right? I have 1 million Mickey.
I think so.
I
that's
am a
hilarious.
Mickey
Oh,
there.
nice.
I'm a Mickey
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, baby. I'm a
That's
Kenyonaire.
hilarious.
Yeah, guys, and that's what I mean. I'm really big on it because if nobody does it, you know what I really don't like? I don't like when people in Telegram have will not DM first. Like, shut the fuck up, you loser. I hate that shit.
Mm.
Will not DM
Yeah.
first. If I don't DM first and you don't DM first, who the fuck gonna DM each other first, dude? Like, it's such a stupid thing, but it's that elitism mentality, or it's like that, oh, I'm better than you shit. Like, if you don't DM first, I don't DM first, and I will literally wait for you to DM me first, and I will make you change that shit in your fucking username.
That's hilarious.
It's
So
too
are
much
you-
ego.
So you're not scared to send the first text, or you
Not
are?
at all. No, not at all. But as long
Not
as you,
scared.
as long as you don't say I won't DM first, I'm not gonna. You know what I mean? Like, why would I DM you first if you're telling me right to my face I'm not good enough for you to DM me first?
Fair. Oh, fair.
Fuck
Yeah.
you, dude.
Yeah,
Like, straight
that's
up.
fair.
That's how I feel. I grew up in the ghetto, bro. I'm used to people punking me in real life. I'm not gonna let it happen on the internet where I can't chin check somebody. Like, you can try it in real life and then we'll see what happens. But on the internet, I will avoid it because to see what happens isn't there. There's no reason. I can just don't even let it happen. I'm not gonna DM you for. You DM me and then you feel like an idiot for putting that shit in your username.
That's fair. That's fair. I
Get 'em.
yeah.
This
Yeah.
is why
No, I
no
was-
influencers like me, and this is why not one influencer in crypto Twitter, like influencer, if you look at anybody with a YouTube channel over 20, 30,000, they do not fuck with me because they're all posers.
Yeah, none of them
Nice.
probably. Nobody's probably watching right now.
I got to
besides
pay.
them.
I got to put an eye out. Are you able to see? I've been watching a bunch of these recently and stuff, and I'm always can you guys see who's in the audience
Spaces?
and stuff? Or-
If you don't turn
Yeah.
on anonymous, which I also can talk shit on, I hate anonymous listeners. It makes me uncomfortable when I see 7 people who are publicly listening and 150
Right.
like non-listed listeners. That's like,
Oh gosh.
why did you show up to my house with a fucking mask on? Like, you're
Mhm.
welcome, but like, I wish there was an option to not let people listen to my spaces if they don't want to be publicly known being in it. Because if you're gonna fuck
Right.
me and then pretend like I was never inside you, I don't want to deal with you in the first place. Like, it's a bullshit relationship, and I've been in toxic relationships. I don't need that shit in spaces where I'm like, oh,
Right.
oh yeah, then it is in the chat. Like, fuck you, dude. I hate the anonymous stuff because it's very voyeur. It's very voyeur, and again, it's the elitism. I am so good, too good, that I don't want to give you any traction from my audience because if I am publicly in your space, My audience will be traveling to you. So you should pay me for that privilege to be publicly in your spaces. That's a monetizable moment. That's why they don't fucking do it. Fuck influencers, fuck KOLs, and fuck all that shit.
Interesting. I did not
Yeah.
know any of that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Dang.
Yeah,
I
because
second
you
that.
get a notification whenever I join a space because I'm public. So if you did a space, all of my followers, I say, will see Kenn join Galleria spaces. But I know KOLs and influencers that know this and they will monetize it. You'll send them $1,000 in Twitter DM and then they'll turn on that setting. They'll jump into your spaces and that's like a beacon. You know what beacons are? It's a beacon update of, hey, this space is happening. So it's a little bit better than a retweet. It's a little bit better than a comment. It's a literal it's a different notification, different algo. So it's monetized, unfortunately, by social media influencers.
I did not know that. That's crazy. No, it is. I mean, it's the way Twitter is built, or X. I just
I
can't call
won't
it.
call it
It's
X.
never gonna not be Twitter.
I can't. I'll call it X if I get my shadow ban removed. But until I get my shadow ban removed, I'm gonna call it Twitter. And there's
It's
nothing
called
Elon
Twitter.
Musk can do about it, unless he. Well, I guess there is.
Yep.
He could delete my account. He definitely
Yeah.
could do that.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah.
it doesn't get to that.
Yeah,
to
I
that
gotta
point.
shut up because he's a mean person. He's not a nice guy.
You think so?
I don't think he's a nice person. I think
What would you do if you dropped in a meet with him? Like just
I
you
would just
joined a
ask
Zoom.
him. I would just ask him to remove my shadow ban, and that's.
For
I don't
real.
care. I genuinely don't care about anything else. Just you
For
bought
real.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Can you please remove my shadow ban? Thank you.
How long have you been shadow banned?
Since 2021.
2021, like when we were up there, when the
Yeah.
market was up there.
Yeah, when I was telling
Oh,
everybody
really?
to sell, I told everybody to sell. I publicly sold all of my shit. Like I was right.
What do you think? When did you notice?
Oh, there was a lot of influencers getting into NFTs, a lot of YouTube influencers that were trying to sell NFT stuff to their audience, and they don't know shit. I had to come in and school them. They don't know about IPFS. They don't know about the vulnerabilities in IPFS. So they think these NFTs are immutable images for life, but none of those influencers are paying their Pinata Cloud monthly bill. So eventually they're going to get their IPFS images deleted. That hash is going to point to nothing. And all those influencers that sold these people NFTs are going to have error 404, image not found. And then
Yeah.
all those influencers send all their little army fans to come like report me, raid me, report me for racism, report me for harassment, self-harm, all this shit. I had self-harm, so many self-harm reports. Twitter was sending me,
geez.
"Are you okay?" Like wellness checks.
Oh god.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Dang. I think that's a big. Maybe it's my nature of wanting to. Humans are scared of the unknown, I feel like. So education and just understanding things, even just what is IPFS and stuff. Maybe
Right.
that, or just in
Interplanetary
general.
file storage or file
But also, a lot of
system.
people are lazy and don't want to know about those things. They don't care to know about. They just know, hey, it works, and it got,
Yeah.
I achieved my objective, and
I think
whatever,
most people
whatever
don't care.
else. Yeah.
So I also, because human nature is like that, I also feel it's not on, but like I feel like because of that and because everyone knows that that's true, people are lazy by nature and stuff. The developers also have to make it as low of a barrier to entry as possible. So
100%.
I love things like email sign in to create your wallet, but still
Yes.
important to me is being able to export that to your own private MetaMask or whatever the hell
Have you
you
seen
want.
how easy Edge Wallet is? Have you ever had like an Edge Wallet experience?
I haven't yet, but I actually
It's
recently
good.
I've been hearing more about that.
Dude, it
Really?
is the best wallet
Right,
experience, hands down, period, end of story, done. You don't even need to talk
Well,
about another wallet. It's so good.
what would you say is the UI, the UX for you? How easy it is to use and
The fact that I
that kind
can
of thing?
delete my wallet and put the app on any device and I can log in with a username and password, which basically gives the app my private key.
I see. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that. That's all we need right now. All this extra Fugazi
Oof.
security bullshit, none of it matters.
Yeah.
Everybody I know has 2FA on the same phone. They need the 2FA for the apps to get into. Like, that is so, it's pointless. And that's what a lot of these steps are, so pointless. Write down your private key. Make sure you write down the private seed phrase and all the private key. Like, back up all these things. You have, like, all these private things now that are, like, itemize. It's overwhelming. Edge wallet, username, password, done.
Nice.
And that's due to the human nature. You know, as easy as possible to do any of it and
Yeah.
stuff. And so that's why, in order for this to get mass adopt at scale, there's always the early adopters.
Mm-hmm.
But for this to get at scale, you can't be dealing with writing down your.
Not even that.
I don't know.
You
Right.
can't even deal, Galleria. You can't even deal with showing me the public address. Like, what's the public address of this artist, NFT, or what's the contract address or the token address? What the fuck do I give a shit about any of that information?
Yeah.
What you could
Exactly.
do is what Edge Wallet also does, and this is not sponsored, I just fucking love that shit. And we are actually sponsored by FIO. So FIO, which I'm bringing into the conversation, they are
Join
a sponsor. Yeah, so join FIO, but unbiasedly, when you start the Edge Wallet process, you're given a username. And that username works in MetaMask, Trust Wallet, name a fucking wallet. You type in Kenn at Bosak, and you can send any currency you want to that name. You don't need my public address ever again for the rest of my life. You just Kenn at Bosak. That's the public address. You type it in, you send the money. Any money, whatever it is. It's just NFTs, doesn't matter. It goes to where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
So with Galleria, what I would like to see is I would like to get you in touch with our sponsor FIO and get you like at Galleria or something at
at the
and-
Galleria.
And that way I could have Kenn at Galleria, and that would basically be my signature on the Galleria chip instead of 100567 whatever the heck the public address is.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
That's fair. Even like on our marketplace and stuff, we I guess the idea had floated around of using those types of easier to use names, and you can just
Yeah.
import it in
It's-
and start
See,
doing your
and
thing.
the best part is that when you sign up and you buy like the main handle, like the ownership, and you allow other people to get the sub one, like he said, he can have Kenn at the Galleria. You'll earn on that too.
Yeah,
Directly.
you earn. Actually, I'll send
They
you a
incentivize
link
people
for
who
you
have
to
it,
try
yeah.
it, but I have a link for you to get a free @Soul FIO name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing a Web3 kids cartoon. I don't know if I talked to you about that in New York,
Nice.
but
No, I don't think so. What?
educational
Um,
Web3 kids cartoon made by degens for degenerate children. So
Yeah,
Uh,
he's got some pretty awesome
here's the pitch, ready?
actors.
how's your
Okay,
kid
lay it on
gonna
me.
know, how's your kid gonna know if grandmom's really grandmom in that FaceTime call? When deepfake technology to this day right now exists that I could go on your grandmom's Facebook, grab her face, probably even gather up enough data for her voice, call your son and tell your son, hey, little Timmy, can you go to the router and get me the number on the bottom of the router? I need to help your dad with something on the computer. Now, you're like, dude, this is the life lessons 5-year-olds need to know, because when they're 18, it will be a prominent problem everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a problem now, kind of.
It's a-
with
yeah,
that.
that's
You
what I
know,
mean,
Not
but-
even to that extent, just like the scamish type shit for phone calls.
All the
and-
technology gets cheaper and easier. Right now, remember ICOs? You know how hard it was to make an Ethereum ERC20 token, and how hard it was to do an ERC 721, and how hard it was to do an ERC 1155, and then you got
how hard it was to buy into
Rarible,
it.
OpenSea. You could do layaway NFTs on OpenSea. You could trick your audience into paying the production cost to mint the thing that
Right.
you're selling them. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That is exactly what Elon Musk did with all his Teslas. He didn't have any cars. He didn't have any money. And he was like, you give me money, I'll use it to build a car.
That's what the DeLorean team did. They made an NFT and they sold the NFTs, and the NFTs gave you a spot in line to buy
But
the
they're
car.
doing it directly with NFTs now. If you can't afford the
Yeah.
gas fees on Ethereum, you can just go to OpenSea and start this layaway process. It's so
I
funny.
want to lay away an NFT.
Wait, what is a layaway
That's how I
What
feel.
is that?
You should do layaway art.
You have to pay for the gas fee to get it minted, basically. So I can create a
Oh,
drop, but like that's like I don't even know. It doesn't like that's illegal in every business you could imagine, right? If like I went to a pizza store and they itemized everything that cost them money to make that pizza in my receipt, you can't charge the customer based on all of that itemization. You can charge me in a sum of it, right? Like this is, but you can't say the crust costs this, the sauce costs that, the pepperoni costs this. You can't itemize a receipt at a small business the way like I feel like this is that. Like you're making me pay for the gas fee, the smart contract fee. You're making me pay. Like I feel ripped off by like layaway NFTs.
Hmm.
interesting. Oh, I had heard the name of lazy minting as
Oh,
well for
is that
that.
what they're gonna call it? Lazy? No, no, it's cheap minting. Don't call it lazy. That's so
Is it
much
cheap
worse. It's
minting?
cheap because you're as an
Hmm.
artist, you're being cheap. You're making your. It's like me telling you I'll paint you a painting, but you have to pay me for the painting, and you have to buy the paintbrush, the canvas,
Yeah.
the easel, the art. You have to pay for
The
my
studio
time.
that I gotta do this in, like
Jesus
Yeah.
paint
Christ,
that.
bro! Can I just pay for the
Yeah.
fucking art?
And then I gotta eat food and stuff too.
Right, right, right,
I
right.
gotta eat snackies.
All right, guys, we're
That's
run up
funny.
on the time here. I will like to say thank you, Galleria, for joining us. I think what you're working on is something of a conversation starter, something that I think will bring people into the conversation that is Web3 in the sense that we can now have this physical point of concept, right? There was no real concept in the physical world that we could point at and say, here, do this, try that, experience it. Now we can, I could say, hey, walk up to this painting, tap your phone, look at the metadata, and it's a way for people to realize that this is real. So I'm excited to see like a year after this, all the different experiments, but also the different conversations that we're gonna have based on the implementation of technology like this. So I really
The iterations, yeah.
yeah, dude, there's going to be so many updates. I know that, like, without a doubt. The updates, the iterations, the versions or phases. This is so early. You probably could just call this the beta version. Like, this is just in beta still, but it's not. I know that. But because of how much potential you have in your roadmap, like, you might as well just say, like, oh, yeah, this is like Pong on Atari. Just a proof of concept. Wait till you see when we build Call of Duty on this thing.
And it's crazy. I'll keep it quick. And it's crazy because I mean, when you see it in real life, you guys saw the demo. It's a little different, when you see the
Yeah.
demo of it
It
working
really
and stuff.
is.
So so yeah, yeah. Last thing I'll say, I'm just plugging the
Plug
I
away.
don't even know what I would call it. Yeah, if you are listening to this and you are an artist, we've gotten submissions from everything, traditional, digital, AI. We've gotten everything. And you want to be featured in a magazine, a fine art museum that's located in the Rockefeller Center. Their magazine is distributed around the world to other museums, and gallery owners and lots of people up there. Check out our pinned tweet and submit your art. And yeah,
Okay, I have a guerrilla marketing campaign I'm just going to give you. So you have submit your art to Galleria. So you have submit. And if I submit my art to you, you will mint it, right? So you have S and M. Submit and mint. Submit to Galleria.
Ooh. So
S and M. I
Submit.
see where
Submit
that.
and mint, and you submit to Galleria. That is a meme that an artist could have 20 different iterations of that could mean anything and everything. So
would you
Yeah.
have
submit
would you
to
have make
Galleria.
a would you make a submint button?
Submit.
That sounds. I kind of like that. You know what? That might be coming.
Yes. Yes.
Submit here. What?
This is
I
what
like
we
that.
do, everybody. Miggy, thank
Ken,
you
you're such an
again.
inspiration. Galleria,
Bro,
or
I
just-
love you. Thank you. Thank you, Galleria. Much appreciated, everybody, for tuning in. If you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, wherever, thank you for
Yep.
sharing. Hit that like button, but you can go ahead and uninstall your account on those platforms. And then you can join X. This is where all the degenerates are
Yep.
making money. So if you want to make money and stop seeing grandmom's cat videos, I got you. Just join X. Look for hashtag Not Another Bitcoin Podcast every day, Monday through Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern till 11 p.m. Eastern every day with Miggy. Wait, he's over.
Yep. And be sure to go look for the Galleria on X at the Galleria IO. Thanks,
The
everybody.
Galleria IO. Thank you again, bros.
IO.
We are out of
Thank you.
here.
Appreciate Appreciate y'all.
Hello, happy bro bros. Hey, you're about to get a face full of the Kenn Bosak. He's a mentor. That's what I heard. He's a connector. Oh yeah. He's a brilliant leader. I've seen it. He's Kenn Bosak. Oh, happy bro. You gotta get some Bitcoin and hold it. Happy bros. You gotta get those NFTs and you gotta hodl that stuff. You gotta hodl it. 'Cause I'm Kenn bro. We got your Bitcoin, bro. He's an original. Buy some NFTs and hold them. How many times does he have to tell you? Going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Going to the moon. We're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. 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 Yeah, we're going to the moon. We're going to the moon. Bro, we're going to the moon. Oh yeah, we're going to the moon. We're gonna get real high. Real high. Yep. Real high. Hello, happy bros. Come get some Kenn Bosak.